Yes, I'm already having to split these into two parts. The Red Ribbon Army arc is a long one, particularly in anime form, and it has tons of interesting fillers, so I'm not going to waste any time with pleasantries, but rather just dive right in. The TV version of the Red Ribbon Army arc began on September 10th, 1986, just as Goku was in his second fight with Tao Pai Pai in the manga. This arc begins with a first for Dragon Ball, an episode that is completely filler. And in true sitcom fashion, this has an A plot and a B plot. I'll go ahead and start with the B. Just like at the introduction of the last arc, Yamcha's car breaks down and the four spend the episode stranded in the desert until a sandstorm, related to the A plot, blows them right back to where they started. Although in this case the scenario was alluded to in the manga version, which had already been out long before the previous breakdown plot had occurred in the TV series. Unlike in the manga, Kuririn and Kame-Sennin are left to their own devices. Also, rather than parting company the night of the tournament, they wait until the next day here. At any rate, if they did think this would be a running gag, it never happens again, so we just have these two very similar instances of woe. As for the A plot, Namu's once again in trouble. Even though it's only the next day, the water he got at the tournament is already running out, and the village elder thinks there's something wrong with the river. With the help of Goku, they find the river has been dammed by a whole Giron clan with their Gudu Gudu gum. Well, Goku's no stranger to breaking that stuff down, so he does, and water again flows freely. Until the aforementioned sandstorm hits. It's only then they find a mystical and previously mentioned roaming lake to save them all. While it's nice to see some B-tier characters again, although we've barely had time to miss them, Giron being the leader of a clan does seemingly contradict what we later see of him when he gets killed in the Piccolo arc. There he's just some unliked bully. Although I suppose you could say that his failure to save the dam got him booted out of office perhaps, and he'd fallen on hard times? After this episode, the Red Ribbon plot begins in earnest, but with several more filler episodes. These primarily serve to build up Colonel Silver and work in as many other characters as possible. After a greedy businessman tries tricking them with a fake, Goku, Pilaf, and Silver get in a three-way chase for the real one until the bird carrying it is eaten by a dinosaur that's taken down by the Ox Demon King. He's holding a wedding feast because Chi-Chi believes Goku's coming back to marry her right then. Pilaf tracks the Dragon Ball there, and they repeat the getting Goku's name wrong joke from the manga. If you remember when I covered that originally, you'll know I was less than amused by it. But for some reason it just cracks me up when Pilaf reads aloud, "Welcome, Mago Gosara?" Maybe it's Chiba Shigeru's delivery, but I love it. Anyway, the disguised Shu is Goku, hijinks ensue, the army attacks, Goku pees on a camera, Pilaf is defeated, Chi-Chi gets a taste of the years of disappointment she'll have to endure. Then there's a plot with monkeys and Silver burning down their forest, the Dragon Ball falls into a river, and it finally washes up into the source material. Now, this is funny and stupid fluff, I enjoy it, but I hate what they do with Silver's character here. To me, it just totally ruins him. The TV series doth protest too much. His face is in shadow, he's feared, he kills his enemies, he beats up his comrades. Silver is built up into the absolute biggest badass over the span of several episodes, thwarting Goku at every turn, and as a result, that sense of enemy progression that I praised is gone here. Originally, he's just some low-level thug employing a couple of local yokels to search for a Dragon Ball. Here he has hundreds of troops and tanks and artillery. He rivals the forces of General Blue, and General White absolutely pales in comparison. Then, once we land in the source material, all those troops are gone and Goku still manages to take him down instantly. Talk about a letdown. So, fun on their own, not too good for the story as a whole. There's not too much to say about the Muscle Tower section, it mostly expanded itself by filling in stuff the manga glossed over. As I said before, the girl from Jingle Village was given a name, Snow, and a lot of the filler material is cutting away to scenes of her worrying about Goku. In a nice touch, time passes in the TV version while Goku is scaling the tower so that the climax occurs at night rather than during the day. Something that always seemed like a weird missed opportunity was the maze floor. Hachan leads Goku through it. The end. The TV series actually builds an adventure into that. The secret is its movable walls, so General White is able to keep them from finding the exit. It's only when they split up that they uncover the deception. When the day is saved, Hachan actually knocks down Muscle Tower, which is cool, but nothing's as cool as big, glaring continuity issues, which brings us to Dr. Frappe. I like this, actually. I talked originally about how Hachan lives in Jingle Village as deadly internal explosive apparently forgotten. Well, the TV series did not forget. Hachan refuses to live with them for that reason, so they recommend going to see Dr. Frappe, a reclusive old scientist who has a soft spot for snow. However, Murasaki has survived and sets out to fail at stopping them as only he can. It's revealed that Dr. Frappe had been forced by the army to build Hachan in the first place, and Murasaki makes him steal Goku's Dragon Ball. I don't know why Frappe is apparently more suited to this than, I don't know, the ninja? It all works out in the end, and Goku retrieves his lunch, since he wisely left the Dragon Balls with Snow's parents. And of course the good doctor removes the bomb. It's extraordinarily silly and stupid, but I love it. I don't even care that years later Toriyama is going to build an entire storyline around Hachan's creator and it has nothing to do with this Dr. Frappe guy. But needless to say, Dr. Frappe is quietly swept under the rug after this. Funnily enough, they get Yanami Joji, the series narrator, to voice Dr. Frappe, a brilliant scientist and inventor, immediately before Goku meets Dr. Brief, a brilliant scientist and inventor for whom they also cast Yanami Joji. Or who knows, maybe that's why they cast him as Dr. Brief. This section is expanded a bit. The two thugs who tried to mug Goku actually work for a master thief named Husky, who is contracted by the army to steal Goku's Dragon Balls. Meanwhile, Bluma decides to give Goku a tour of the city, but they end up running into Yamcha and the others who Bluma does not want to see, but is successfully disguised from by her microband. Now, it is absolutely clear that the TV version is siding with Yamcha in this fight and believes that Bluma is overreacting. When Goku arrives, Oolong and Puar are both telling the sad sack how spoiled and selfish Bluma is, and how he can do better than her. When he reluctantly agrees that she has some personality issues, she grows to normal size and blames him. And only him. They end up going to an amusement park in the sky, trailed by the thieves, but there's no kill like overkill, so of course someone who is a master stealth thief has also set up a bomb to blow up the entire park. Because that makes perfect sense. Yamcha sends Goku to take care of the bomb, while Husky preys upon his fear of women to try and get the Dragon Balls from him. Who should wander by but Bluma, who of course blames and attacks Yamcha. Goku gets the remote, and of course, destroying a bomb's remote control deactivates the bomb. You know, just like how if your TV remote breaks, your TV stops working. Of course, going by that logic, they didn't need to go visit Dr. Frappe about Hachan's bomb at all, because Goku destroyed that remote too. So because of the Husky incident, Yamcha's once again physically assaulted by his insanely jealous girlfriend who hates cheaters so much, she runs off without him to go drool over General Blue. Yamcha, listen to me very carefully. Run. Run far, far away, you poor dolt. Still, it's nice getting to see the original five together one last time. But when Yamcha's flying the others to the Red Ribbon HQ, he and Bluma actually briefly address their fight. Granted, it's really just for Bluma to tell him how she hasn't forgiven him, but I do like that they agree to act professionally due to the mission at hand. Of course, after this scene, it's still never brought up again or resolved, but I guess that's better than nothing. Once Kame-Sennin gets the microband, he tries in vain to use it on Lunch. I always found it interesting in the manga how Lunch started out completely violent to everyone around her, but then suddenly started tolerating them. Well, the TV version includes a scene that begins that shift. In another one of Muten Roshi's attempts to get somewhere with her, Lunch sneezes into her evil form and attacks, but then she realizes that she's seen this guy in this place a lot, and wonders if they're actually friends. In order to test this theory, Lunch makes him do everything for her until the sea turtle sneaks in with a branch to tickle her nose and sneeze her back into docility. So not only does this segment explain how she starts acclimating to these people, but it also foreshadows the eventual raid on Kame House. Speaking of which, the leader of B Squad is given the name Doc, and manages to go through 2 voices in his short tenure. A few expansions in the pirate section include Bluma and Kuririn being chased by the robot, there being multiple trapped treasure chests, and Bluma's panties. If they didn't change enough in the manga, there's a filler scene in the pirate cave that gets our heroes in hot lava, showing that Bluma is wearing strawberry print panties just before she strips down to swim, and they change again. The only other thing that caught my interest with the pirate cave is that they make it so the Dragon Ball is found in the mouth of a pirate skull. Now, that makes no sense. I can buy that the Dragon Ball ended up in this pirate cave due to that small fissure above. But did they forget it's not pirate treasure? It's only been in the wild for 8 months. There's no way it's gonna be in a decomposed pirate's mouth! The Dr. Slump crossover is one of the few instances in Dragon Ball where the plot is largely rewritten from scratch. The TV series expands the crossover so that more of the Dr. Slump characters have roles and interactions with Blue or Goku, rather than the cameos they had in the manga. That means the manga's opening scene is pretty much scrapped. The biggest subplot involves Taro and the Penguin Village police unsuccessfully trying to apprehend Blue. The most memorable scene is between Blue and Obacha Man, where we learn that not only is Blue gay, he's also a pedophile. Ahem. But because of these added plots, it seems like it takes Goku forever to even think to check the dragon radar. They do add a trippy effect to look like they're passing into another reality when they enter, and in a nice touch they do use bits of the Dr. Slump musical score in these episodes. I like that the TV version gives more than just the Norimaki family a chance to shine, but you can't beat the manga's fake-out intro. But it is so rare to see something change so significantly. I think both versions are worth checking out.